Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am your host, Shae the Red, and I am here with the super awesome Timothy Olson. How are you, sir?
I am fantastic.
Awesome.
I love that. I love that headband. You should wear that on all your shows. I could be a full musical. Come on.
Definitely not going to. However, I did make sure that I had a nice headband specifically for your campaign because we are talking all about Melvin #1, which I think probably a lot of people don't really know much about. So I'm excited to have you on so you could go ahead and inform the masses.
Okay.
So I'm just going to
Melvin is a mercenary hired to save a princess from a ruthless cult that go around sacrificing people to for their god Azarka.
All right, that is really short and to the point. All right, so you have an artist that I've actually haven't ever heard of either. You have Sharon Sains,
Yes.
who's doing the art for you, which is really very cool.
Yeah. See, I kind of give him. I let him have creative input. I rarely correct him unless it's really specific. Like, continuity is is something I'm thinking about. Like, I want this. Wait, why does that person have a headband for some reason, or why is this? Where all those weapons appear out of nowhere? But
right.
That whole barbarian look. The storyboards I had were different when I showed him, and that's something he just came up. That was his interpretation, and I just rolled with it because it looked way better than what I had originally planned. Mine was a little more sci-fi, and I was like, dude, this is great. I'm gonna keep going with this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing: is that's one of the beauties of being a writer is that you can push out like this is what my idea is and send it out and have an artist come back and say, oh hey, this is how I took that, and you'd be like, not at all what I was thinking, but I like where you're going with this, so that's what we're going to stick with.
Well, I was kind of doing everything by myself, like, and so when I trusted somebody else with my character, which was at first hard to do because I'm trusting I can, that's my baby right there. I'm like, all right. Right. I decided to just do the covers, like the very original cover is going to be done by me. Mm-hmm. Because I want to feel like I'm something of me, even though my vision is still something comes from exactly from me is still in there.
Okay. So Melvin is 20 pages, correct?
It's going to be 20 plus pages. Okay. I figure that's a good sized book.
Yeah, it's not too bad for a floppy. And I mean your price points are pretty reasonable. So all right, so you have some character bios here.
Yes, I do.
Let's go ahead and have you kind of cover this. So the first one isn't a character so much as a setting.
My first stream, they are asking, well, what's the planet's name? Now, it being my first stream, I was like, just nervous. Right. So I went back and I spent like a week writing all the things I forgot to think of. And so I couldn't think of a planet name. I went to a website that has generate names for planets, and I just picked one at random. But the idea was, it was once a great planet. This planet is called Holara, and it used to be, it had big cities and big jungles. And then this cult came and they pretty much destroyed most of the cities and the jungles. So there's only like little patches of jungle here and there that people hide out in. And the rest of the place is nothing but desert and ruins.
Okay. All right. So then you've got Melvin, your main guy.
Yes. He is. I'm going to cover that in another story, but he's the only survivor, at least he thinks, of a race called the Spartans, which is a mix of Spartan and Martian, and they're born to be warriors because they share war's DNA.
Okay.
But that's going to be covered in their story.
Cool.
And he's a mercenary, and mercenaries in their universe are kind of like gladiators in the fact that they're owned. They have a master who, and if they can finish a mission and get paid a payment so big they can split it between themselves and the person that owns them, they gain their freedom.
Right.
Otherwise, if they run away, their master can blow them up anywhere that they are with a detonate, with like a little bomb in them. Boom, they're dead.
Okay.
Let's see. Argonus is the second high priestess of the Azarka obelisk cult. And if you notice the abbreviation there, you get the joke. AOC.
Wow.
Tell me you get that.
Yeah. No, not commenting. Okay, cool.
Well, there's a little bit of political satire in there.
Okay.
And the Crushers are their certain members of the cult. They go around destroying things. They're Crushers. They destroy and burn everything. And then, of course, the planet's populated by red Martians and Plutonians. And then if you read a lot of Greek stories.
I don't, but okay.
But well, in Greek stories, there's always a wise teacher that teaches the hero everything they need to know, and they either die or go away. And that's the very cornerstone of Western storytelling. So I was going to put a wise sage that, for some reason, shows up and periodically will disappear. He'll turn around and he'll be gone. He'll teach him something. He'll turn around to say something. No, he'll turn around and say something, and he'll disappear. He'll just pop up randomly in different parts of the story. Like he'll show up in the second issue just out of nowhere.
Right.
I want to kind of bring that back into storytelling because I think it's probably missing in a lot of modern storytelling anyway.
Okay. So then who are the Crushers?
The Crushers, they go around destroying everything. That's their mission. They're the reason why the planet's pretty much in ruins. Pardon me.
All right.
Yep. My artist should be actually redoing. He's actually redoing, adding a new page 9 because he did mention that he goes he's looking at page 8 and what's now page 10. He goes, hey, I noticed this happens, but shouldn't we add a page that leads up to this? Seems like something's missing from there. And it was a good point. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna draw another storyboard and get back to you. So.
Okay. Very cool. So what you have right now is a flex goal. What was the idea behind you doing a flex goal?
It was my first one, and I didn't really know the difference. I'm thinking, okay, flex goal sounds like it's flexible, or is it like you keep everything? You've got two choices.
So the difference is the flex goal. If you hit your funding, you can still go in demand, but if you don't hit your funding, it doesn't refund everything back to everyone. Like this still happens. But here's the issue with flex goals, right? You have to make sure that whatever you get, hold on, you got to make sure that whatever you get is going to be enough for you to actually produce a book. Okay. So if you only got funded $20 and somebody pays you $20, you're not going to be able to fund this book, printing and everything at $20 because print one comic is going to cost you more than that, plus shipping, plus everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what a flex goal is, and that's why people need to be very careful with them. If you are confident that regardless of how much you're already 55% of the way there, so you're already doing pretty well. You still have 27 days. There's still plenty of time for us to hit 1,000, and as long as you can still fund at 1,000, then no harm, no foul.
Yeah, like I said, I hustle.
Okay.
I'd probably average like 5 hours of sleep a night.
Oh goodness. Yeah. So the difference between that and fixed is if you do a fixed goal, if you don't hit your goal, then you don't get anything. Everyone gets refunded through Indiegogo. The campaign closes and you try again.
So
Okay.
which one do you think is better? Because
I tell first-time creators to never do a flex goal simply because I think a lot of times first-time creators do not realize a lot of hidden costs when it comes to creating comics. And if you haven't sat down and made sure that you're printing, you're paying your artist, your shipping, and everything that goes into that, if you haven't made sure that all of that is covered and been very, very meticulous with everything, with an overhang, a flex goal is very dangerous. If you are somebody who has a bit of a backlog of savings, specifically if you've done previous campaigns and there's a backlog that you can kind of dip into of other things, then that's not flexible as something that you might be able to do more, because then regardless you're going to fund. A lot of you do flex goals already have a book that's completed, printed, and they're just waiting to figure out who they need to ship it to and get money for the shipping. So that's where I would go with it, but we'll get you there. We're gonna help you. You got a bunch of people that have popped up in the chat to say hello. Let's just go all the way back. We got Oli. Welcome. Thank you, Oli. We got Leggy.
Got Art Thievered.
Yeah, got Gargoyle Ideas, Comic Book Scrapyard, Todd's Truth, Hex Allen, Unhinged Entertainment, Smiling Bandito, Justin Dutton. We've got Art T Bear. How are you guys all doing? Thank you so much for coming by. We got a question already. Jason wants to know why are there only two
I
here?
thought the third one, there's three of them.
There is three. The third one does not have art, which is something that Tim and I have discussed.
I know, we'll work on
it. And he is working on getting art up for that third tier for sure.
I'm sorry, I'm a little starstruck that Art Thievered is in the chat.
Art's cool people. He hangs out. Look, we got Jason Krager, we got Lothar, we got Pedro. Did I already say Todd? I don't know if I said Todd. Hi, Todd. We got all kinds of great people. I love seeing all the people coming out and support for a first-time creator for sure. This is awesome. Comic Book Scrapyard says fixed goal for sure, with the minimum amount that will take care of your estimated expenses for first-timers especially. So something to keep in mind. But as long as you are willing to fulfill this, come hell or high water.
Talking to a guy who was homeless and used to sell artwork on the street. Yeah, I'm dedicated.
We don't want you homeless, so we're going to.
No, but I'm saying I've been there. That's what I used to do. I know the concept of hustle. So
okay. We're gonna get you defunded. You're not far off of that, and hopefully we can get you past that too. That'd be great. Let's go over your perks real quick. Especially since this featured one at the top is kind of a hidden little one because it doesn't have the art to kind of boost it out more. So let's go over these real fast.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get in contact with the artist. I need to make that happen.
All right. So your Melvin #3 perk for $30, you can get a physical copy, a skeleton sticker, an Eve cover. So this is both covers.
Yes, Eve she's a very talented artist, and I'd love to get an alt cover from her.
Okay, is that alt cover already in the works?
I've been trying to get in contact with her.
Okay. Not trying to sound like a downer. Don't promise something you don't already have.
Yeah, I know.
That's now you've put yourself and her in a bad situation if you don't get that cover. You going down there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I already I had a conversation with her before. She's busy recently, so.
Okay. I'm still gonna say, don't ever promise something you don't already have. And you got 4 claimed, so we're gonna hope that comes through for you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, oh my gosh, come on.
I have thought about what I do if that doesn't. If I have to, I definitely would email and kind of. I'm an honest person. I'll say, look, this is what happened. You know,
Okay.
communication is key.
All right. We're gonna roll past it. So you also have a button and a poster. For number 1, you got the physical copy of the book, and that is for $12. And number 2, you got the physical copy of the book, skeleton sticker, the button, and then a Rob Ewing cover. Do you already have this person locked
Yeah,
out?
I do.
Okay.
I have most of the covers.
Okay. All right. We actually have a question from Lothar. What is the shipping price that you got? So what are you doing, domestic and international?
Most of the backers are in the United States. So I think I've only just started asking questions. So I think shipping in the US is mostly what $5-8.
What are you charging for shipping?
Yeah, see that part I didn't think of before then. So that's another, learn.
Are you not charging shipping?
Well, I didn't think about that until after. Just like, oh, I should have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sweetie. All right.
Some of the expenses are coming out of my pocket, so.
Yeah, they're gonna have to at this rate. All right, so this is why when you make a campaign, you got to make sure that you have really looked over all of this. I'm gonna log in real quick and let you guys know what shipping is for the US at least.
What was that? Somebody told me already about it.
Oh, sweetie. So shipping is now coming directly out of your pocket because you have not put it into your campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully my second campaign will go a little more smoothly.
Hopefully you will have somebody review your stuff before you put it out. So yeah, that's tricky. That's going to be tricky. Okay. So what we're looking at here, we've got Smiling Banditos wondering if you can cancel the campaign and rebuild it. I do not think that you can. But you can do what Jason is saying. You can hide these tiers and make them again with shipping. So the ones who have already backed, you are going to have to come out of pocket for, but then you can fix this error by hiding all of your tiers, rebuilding your tiers to be the same as they were before, but add shipping this time. And please add shipping. So if you talk to another creator, like Unstitched says USA shipping is $10, will be bagged, boarded, and Gemini mailered. The rest of the world is $20 for international shipping is a little steep and frustrating for a lot of international backers. But shipping internationally is also very expensive for the US. So make sure you keep that in mind. I would probably for you stick with those prices that Justin has to make sure that you don't go bankrupt trying to fulfill your campaign.
Yeah. I already paid
Unhinged.
my artist pocket, so.
Unhinged is saying it was a story concept. We've gone over that, sir. You scrub back and figure that out. Will it stay black and white?
Yeah, the cover inside cover. Yeah, the pages inside are going to be black and white.
Okay. And another thing that I had mentioned to you before, there's not a lot of art on your campaign, and you and I kind of talked too about why. So you go ahead and let me know.
And I tried to upload more art, and for some reason when I save it, it doesn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I don't understand why it does that. I mean, even when I go and click on a picture and I click and then copy and then try to paste in there, it shows up, but when you save it, it's gone.
Okay. So then that would be something, if you're having that kind of a difficulty, reach out to somebody who's already created their account. Justin Dutton has a really good one. Unhinged has an amazing one. There's a lot of people that are in this chat that have campaigns currently that would probably be able to give you a couple of tips and pointers. If you really come down to it and you just have a massive issue with it, that is what you go to the Indiegogo help desk for. And see, like Jason Krieger is saying, if it's a JPEG or PNG, you got to make sure that it's the right size. It might be too big, and that might be why it isn't being saved.
Okay.
So if your JPEGs are too big or, too small, they'll stay. But too big, they're going to have issues. So I will say to everybody, Tim was nice enough to send me a couple pretty awesome bits of art of other pages in the book. And so since he's been having a difficult time actually getting them uploaded on the campaign, we wanted to make sure you could still see them. So here we go right here. Do you want to talk about some of these pages?
This is this is the first page where he's kind of sneaking up on the cult who are sacrificing her to this beast here.
Okay.
As you can see, he's kind of making it get out of the water there. See, I pointed out because like the original second page is now the third page. I asked my artist, well, where did he get the headband and all the weapons and the shield? So I did it. I went back and I did a storyboard where he has, he's putting on all the equipment. If you go to the second page.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Christopher. Backer number 37 for you. He says, going bankrupt number 37. It's all right. We will get you there. So you've got a lot of, I really like the art that you've got going here. I like a lot of what you're able to kind of see, and I like the hatching and the lines. I'm happy you're keeping it black and white. I think that
exactly.
I think it's a cool look for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are really nice looking panels.
Yeah.
Very
my original, my style was a little too cartoony, but his style is a little more serious, so it works out better.
Yeah, well, and I think for what you're going for, I think that this is probably closer to on target, and it's just very clean. It is very clean.
Yeah, all those are actually separate drawings that he draws. He'll draw one. Like those are all separate drawings that he shrinks down onto the page.
Okay.
I kind of like that. And it's like, why didn't I think of that?
Just in case you did not see, we had Jason give you the dimensions of the page of the pictures that you can upload. So 460 by 460, 72 DPI. Make sure you write that down. Give that a shot. See if all of a sudden you can't suddenly have these images stay, because they just might have been too big.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what other pages we got here. Yeah, it's a really nice looking campaign. It's got some really cool art. I had a feeling I was going too far. I definitely
like that page right there.
Yeah, it looks really nice. It looks very nice. So yeah, Jason wants to know, is this your first 30 days?
I thought I'm new and nobody really knows me, so I did extend it.
So you're in your second 30 days.
Yeah, because I thought, well, nobody knows who I am, so it's not like I'm some well-known talent where people are like, oh, dude, I know that guy. I'm gonna give him money, or like, oh, hey, it's a Spider-Man comic book. I'm definitely gonna give him money.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. There's a reason why Marvel could hemorrhage cash and still make money, because people know who they are.
That's true. All right, so you were at $551 when we started this, and 36 backers. You're not 581 with 30 backers. Thank you very much to Christopher C. yet again. That's awesome. Wow. He backed you. He backed you good. He backed you at your $30 tier. I I definitely am going to suggest when we get off of here, hide all of your perks and rebuild them with shipping, just to try and mitigate how much is coming out of your pocket. And see, just like you've already got a lot of love from from these people. You got Justin Dutton who says, "Me too, brother." You got Jason who says, "Hey, I'm a new one too. You can do it."
Yep.
And yeah, you're definitely sorry. I was distracted by Jason.
Honestly, I say this to people, honestly, and people think I'm crazy, but sometimes I learn better when I just jump in and do it.
Yep, understood. See, and Jason says add shipping and then he'll back.
Oh yeah, add shipping.
There you go. So make sure you put that shipping up there.
I already wrote that down.
Yep, no problem at all. No problem. We want to make sure that you're getting taken care of. We want to support you, but we want you to be successful. Just like Smiling Bandito saying here, it takes work, but being new is just a hurdle to get over. You can get funded for sure, and you are well on your way. All right, so down here you were actually saying some of the stuff that you should know. So I need $1,000 to increase the amount of copies, stickers, and buttons, along with hiring artists for alternate covers and additional costs for shipping. You even put it right here, Timothy. You got to add your shipping in, so it's something that you have included with all of that.
Yes, add that to here's some stuff you need to know.
And then you've got this part right here that I thought was something that we wanted to kind of highlight and talk about. So if I fall short of my goal, I'd use this money to finish sending and making the comic for the people who contributed to my campaign. Because it is a flex goal, you are going to get this payout regardless of whether you hit funding or not. The funding is going to determine whether or not you can go in demand. We would like you to be able to go in demand and get a little bit more of that passive income while you're finishing.
That sounds like something I would definitely do. Yes.
So the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if we hit that goal. So let's just make sure that we can help get you to that goal. You do say in here, if there is some left over, I will keep that in my savings. Now, are you keeping that in your savings for future campaigns?
I think that would be a good idea because, it takes money to make money.
Yep. Very true. Very true. Jason is saying, Tim's as nervous as I was on my first time out. What are the stretch goals? Have you considered any stretch goals if you get to...
Consider stretch goals. I'm going to write that down.
Consider stretch goals. We are going to just create the whole campaign right here. It's awesome. Todd says, always keep learning. Absolutely. This is just something that is difficult to get right the first time out. There's actually a reason that I'm trying very hard.
I was going with Mix'em.
Okay. Have you gotten a quote from Mix'em?
Yes, I actually kind of, out of curiosity, kind of went through
that. So Justin Dutton wants to make sure that you remember any new cover costs, new printer plate.
That's what I thought of that, yeah.
So every time you have a new printer plate, that is an additional cost. Usually I want to say it's about $100 in Mix'em per new cover plate that they have to make. So keep that in mind. Don't go crazy with your alternate covers. Don't do what certain campaigns have done and do 11 because that is crazy.
I'm only doing technically 4. One alt cover. Yeah. Well, one alt cover was actually something that Sherwin did for me like a year or two ago, and I just dug it up and kind of redid it a little bit.
Okay, so let's break this down real quick. If you have 4, do you have 4 covers or 4 alt covers?
Actually,
3 alt covers and a standard.
Yeah, and a standard. Yeah.
Okay, so if it's $100 a plate, that's $400 right there out of your 1,000. That doesn't count printing the books. That doesn't count shipping costs. That doesn't count all of the supplies needed for shipping. That doesn't count pins. That doesn't count stickers. That doesn't count anything. That is literally just for your alternate covers.
Okay.
Okay. That's 40% of your overall budget right there. And shipping is typically 50 of your budget around about. So And Unhinged, he's got a good idea for you. He says trading cards are good since they don't usually cost much. You can usually get trading cards for pretty cheap. Arrow Idea says 1 cover, 2 max. That's something I would agree with, especially with you doing the flex goal. 1 cover, 2 max. I wouldn't keep adding on a whole bunch of covers. Christopher,
yeah, don't want to be crazy. Don't want to go crazy there.
No. Absolutely not. So all of these things are things to keep track of. Now, keep in mind, unfortunately, you have already promised 3 covers right here in these 3 perks.
Yeah.
Because you've already promised 3 covers, you can't really go back on it. You got 3 covers that you're going to have to go through, and that's kind of something that you have locked in.
Yeah. Well, already, like I said, my cousin should be. He's working on it. I'm going to contact him this Friday. He's working on it right now.
Is your cousin one of these 3 covers?
Yeah, actually.
Okay, then that's fine. You've already promised 3 covers, so that's what you're going to have
to
do.
The Rob Ewing one's already done, so.
Okay. So I'm assuming this one is your cousin's then, Melvin number 1?
Yeah, that's the one that Sherwin did. Yeah.
Okay. See, and that's fine. But what I'm getting at is you have 5 people here, 24 here, and 3 here. You already have people who have purchased all of these.
Yeah.
So you have a minimum of 3 covers now.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have promised, right?
Right.
Things to keep in, and it's a really good learning experience for people who haven't had this kind of feedback. This is the exact reason why, if I can get up off my butt and do Valkyries and Mead, that's why I'm going to do it, because I want to make sure they can go through and we can highlight these exact issues that you are not the first. You are not the first person who's been in Red Valkyrie that have had these issues.
I'm cool with it.
That's why, is because there's not a way to do this. There's not something that somebody just hands you. This is exactly how you do everything you need to in order to have a successful crowdfunding campaign. Because it's different. What was that?
You need the crowdfunded idea. A how-to guide.
That's what I'm going to be doing with Valkyries and me. That's exactly what it's for.
Okay.
Yes, ideas. I redo the tiers before you get any more backers. That's something that I'm going to make sure. We're probably going to cut this just a tiny bit short, because I want to make sure that you have time to go in and redo these tiers so you don't get screwed over on shipping. That I feel like that's something that we need to really make sure. And there is a good chance, if you wanted to do prints and stuff, those things you could probably end up doing a lot cheaper. So, Jason, thank you for the offer of a free cover. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and say, if you do take Jason up on his offer, don't do a cover, do a card or a print. Do not do another cover.
Right.
Another cover is a bad idea. You're good on covers. You are very good on covers. Yeah, but you could do it for prints. You could do it for you've got up here, you're offering a poster. If you wanted, you could potentially offer their choice of poster when you redo this, and you could have one from each. Things to keep track of. Unhinged also says you could do a Krager cover as a stretch goal, which would be kind of cool, or you could do the Krager cover as a print stretch goal, which would be probably better. Right. I think for sure. So I would put it down where if you can get to 2,500, I would say 2,500, you're gonna have a Jason Krager print. Would be a cool way to do it. Now, don't commit to anything right now.
Yeah.
Do not open your mouth and say a damn thing, Tim. You need to think this through, and you need to do a price comparison, okay? It's just an idea to think.
She's very blunt and to the point, isn't she?
I am. And you want to know why? Because I want you to succeed. I don't want you to fail, and I don't want this to be something that's going to put you in a precarious situation financially, regardless of if you're okay being there. I am not okay with seeing you there.
Right.
See, and we've also got, look, you've got an offer right here from Jason who says if you hit 2K that he's willing to do a trading card for you. You got people that are coming out of the woodworks just to try and help you out. So make sure that you check all this out. Good hell, Lola. Lola meets $20, madam. Thank you very, very much. Yay, I can super chat. Yes, you can, Lola. You can now super chat. Thank you, darling. That is very sweet of you. Good hell.
That's right.
Yeah. And Wise Guys is saying, I was curious as to whether if you go with digital printing, if it will drop the cost at all. Digital printing does not matter. They always are going.
The original version of the comic, because the Melvin's actually an extended version of the original one I had done for Lulu.com. I had an ebook, and I was promoting that, and then Lulu, in their wisdom, decided to change the whole format, so everything got messed up. I couldn't even view my sales anymore.
So when they're talking the digital printing, you have two different, right? You have like digital as in a digital tier, which is going to cost you the price of doing your pre-press filing. So if you end up sizing everything correctly yourself, it's not really going to cost a whole lot of anything except for maybe if you decided to hire somebody to try and make it a little bit better. But basically you've got that, and then there's different options you have when you go to print a physical copy. The problem is no matter how you go for those copies, it is always a new plate for the cover, because the cover
going through Alterna, I actually did look into that, but I didn't understand the formatting.
Okay, so let's go over these real quick then. Thank you very much, Lola, for the $5 for love and awesomeness. Support those you like doing what they love. Thank you very much. You are super sweet. And Jason for $2 says, has he thought about going through Alterna Comics? There is there's a lot of really good references through Alterna in order for you to understand how to submit something for consideration through them. I actually asked them that same question, and Peter said he sent me to their FAQ page.
I sent him a message. Yeah.
So he'll tell you to go to their FAQ page and look through it, because they talk all about how to do it. That's exactly it. Wise Guys, I know you're not referring to a PDF version of the book. I thought some creators are doing a version of printing via Mixam where you send digital files, but they still print physical copies. They do. That is not. In order to print a physical copy, they have to do book plates. That's how they ensure that every single time that they print it, it comes out the same for every single one. So every time you change your cover, it is a new book plate. Every time you add in pages, those are more plates that are being made. So you have to make sure that you're considering that, because all of the interior stuff, that is going to be standard across the board. So they're likely to either not charge you an extreme amount, because so much of that is going to be used over and over and over again. So that'll get rolled into the cost of however many they're going to make, right? So you got that. But then if they're going to print a new cover, and that new cover has 3 backers, so they are printing maybe 10 of that cover, so you have extras just in case. The cost of making the plate for that cover does not offset what they're going to get from you from it, unless they charge you for that book plate. So they're going to charge you every time you do a new cover. That's why they charge you for that. Usually when they're talking about printing all of the interior pages, those still have book plates, but all of those things are being used throughout the entirety of this order. So they're making their money back on them. They're not making their money back on a cover that they're printing 4 or 10 of. That's just, there's no profit in there for them, because they get, like, you know, let's say they're going to get $20-$30 from you. It's going to cost them $70 or $80 to make the plate. So they're not going to do it at a loss. That's why they charge you for it. So that's why you got to be really careful when you start offering all of these additional covers, because that's what they end up doing. Make sense?
That makes sense.
Don't look sad. Don't look sad.
Am I looking sad?
You looked a little bit sad. You looked a little bit stressed. We got you.
It was a lot to process. So my mind's like, okay, I got a lot of information in my head right now.
Yes.
Processing.
So that's the benefit of having a stream. You can refer back to this as many times as you need to make sure you haven't overlooked anything. Yes. And that's why we're saying all of this, is because we all want you to be happy. We all want you to be successful, because we genuinely want you to succeed. This is gorgeous art. This is something that people are excited about. And you've got people ready to back you, but refuse to back you until you fix your shipping, because they want to make sure that you don't get screwed over. Now, look at that and tell me that you don't have support. You've got a ton of it right here, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And see, you got a lot of people who understand. Wise Guy says it's very overwhelming.
Oh, I agree. It all could be very overwhelming, yes.
There absolutely is. There absolutely is.
Me, though, as soon as I get off here, I'll probably be spending a week figuring it out while I'm promoting at the same time.
Pay attention to all these creators that have been offering advice and offering help and offering up art. Those creators know what they're talking about. They're doing the same thing you're doing. So make sure that you reach out to these guys and that you heed their advice, because they know what the hell they're doing. Justin wants to know, is this staple or perfect bound?
Well, I kind of figure staple, because of all the comic books I had back when I was a kid were all stapled down the middle.
At 20 pages, perfect bound is a pretty crazy cost to add to it. Staple is definitely a lot cheaper. If you want to do perfect bound because you want something that's going to have that nice block edge and everything, that needs to be a stretch goal for you. Especially with the way that your campaign is currently, that needs to be a stretch goal, and it needs to be a significant stretch goal, because it's not something that is going to be really economical for you, especially a 20-ish page book. Staple is fine for 20 to 24 pages. That's not a big deal. When you start getting up into 60, 80, then staple kind of sucks, and it's definitely better to have perfect bound.
I agree with Unhinged. Staple's better.
Yeah, where you are, I'd say stick with staple for sure. Christopher C, thank you very much, sir, for the $5. I wish I had a nice ass avatar. I feel like you could, Chris. I do. I know that I know Lola's got a really good one. I feel like you could get one. Would not be too difficult, man. Yep, and see right here, you got Justin saying staple bound like a floppy will reduce your price. That is something definitely to keep track of. Mayfield Jukes, thank you so much for the support. It's a process. Steady as you go. You got this.
20+ page book. Yeah.
You got this. You got this. It's not. You're gonna get through this for sure. If you were to go past this 20-page number, if you were to go into 60, whatever, 48, Justin saying 48, 48's good. If you decide that you were going to expand it and go bigger, then yeah, I'd say do perfect bound. But at 20 to 24 pages, stick with what you got. Stick with the staple. That's going to be a lot more
I'd probably, if I start running out of like, okay, this is more than 20 pages, that's going to go in the second issue.
There you go. There you go. And speaking of, Jason wants to know, is it a limited series? How many books are you thinking?
I like to think of it as an ongoing series.
Okay. How many books?
How many books?
Yeah, how many books are you thinking of?
I got like 10 issues in my head already. I kind of slightly plotted it out.
All right. So you're hoping to do this for a while.
A long while.
Okay. Awesome. That's
if I had my way, I'd probably break Spawn's record by a little bit.
I borrow idea says, yeah, don't go over 24 pages. I think that's probably manageable for where you are in your campaign. Mayfield Juke says, I'm a serial rage quitter. Don't be like me. never rage quit. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Especially not when you have really beautiful art. You have a lot that's really, really cool and definitely worth the support. So let's get
I wish I could get Sherman on here. He'd love this, probably.
Well, you know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna go through this campaign. I'm gonna give you a lot of my pointers and stuff like that while you fix your tears. You're gonna fix your tears before you go to bed tonight, okay? Because I'm gonna try and help you push this.
It almost sounds like
I'm not gonna help. I'm not gonna help you push it if you don't have shipping on your tiers. So you get your shipping on your tiers, and I will give you feedback on what I see on your campaign page. Is that deal?
All right.
Come on. Look, I'm giving you free Shae advice. That is not normally what I do. But I will do it for you because I agree with Jason. I love your ambition. Yes, Justin. Shae just gave you homework. That just happened. You have homework now.
Okay. Hidden. Okay, I'm gonna hide that for a while. I'm gonna hide all my perks for a while.
Jason says 25 years worth of drawing ahead of you. Get to work. Absolutely. And yeah, I will definitely let Jason know when your tiers are fixed so he can go in and back you. And yeah, Shae will find you and threaten your existence if you don't listen. Oh my goodness. It's not homework, it's in classwork. You guys are hilarious. I love our chat so much. You guys are so supportive. Thank you so much for everybody kind of rallying behind Tim and making sure that we can get him doing well with funding. Shae advice is priceless. Yep, and anyone who wants to check over the campaign, if anybody has anything that they want to put out there to hit Timothy up with, his information to get a hold of him on Twitter is in the description of the stream. So make sure that you go and check it out. Follow him.
So feel free to harass me as much as possible. Did you follow her advice?
So everyone can harass you and help make you better and stronger and faster and rebuild you.
Calling at 12 in the morning, like, did you fix your perks yet? Damn it!
Yep, exactly. And Unhinged says to get your stretch goals in there. He says that people like stretch goal and patches. He is 1,000% referring to me. Tim, we will look at patches for your second campaign. We're not going to even attempt that right now because we're gonna fix everything else going on first. Okay. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else that you would like to say about your campaign before we wrap, sir? Anything else, Tim?
Anything else?
Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap?
It's been a pleasure being here. I'm a huge fan of her show.
Thank you.
I have a lot to think about right now, so
you do.
Hate me right now, so
just take a breath. We got it. We'll oh my goodness, look at all of those notes. Jason Krieger says, Timothy, good. I am glad that you are serious about
serious
this.
Like a heart attack.
Good. Jason Krieger says, Timothy, hit me up and I can have you a piece sometime next week. So make sure that you take him up on that. Krieger is phenomenal. He is a phenomenal artist. He is somebody that will absolutely make you better. Justin Dutton says, Tim, hit me up. I have some things to say that are helpful. So get with Justin. You got people that you need to talk to now.
Awesome. I'm writing you down.
Krieger will give you a mind-blown piece. Absolutely. And yep, that is exactly it. So what I am gonna say is I'm gonna end the stream now, and we're gonna talk a little bit backstage. All right. And okay. And I think it's gonna be good. We're not gonna talk for too long because I know that you got some stuff that you got to take care of. What I am gonna say is thank you so much for being on here. And do not give up on this project because you have a great idea.
I'm too driven.
You have a great idea. You have really nice looking art. You're doing well. We just got to whip this campaign into shape, okay? Exactly. Thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys are all absolutely wonderful people. And please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. You guys are so awesome.
Sherwin's got mad skills. I'm just the brains behind the operation. He's the talent that actually draws those artwork. Those pictures.
Well, you also gave him something to draw and gave him the inspiration to do so. So make sure that you guys check out Melvin. Maybe give him like 24 hours to get everything situated, but check out this campaign because he's definitely passionate and he's on the right track. We're just going to make it a little bit better, a little bit more streamlined. All right. And thank you so much, Tim, for coming on. I really appreciate having you here.
Yep. Thank you. All right.
All right. We will see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Awesome.